Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your weekly forecast for the week of November 25th. We're going to be looking at the energies that this week holds for your sign in particular. So this is for your sun, moon, or rising. So of course, if it doesn't resonate, check your other signs because we tend to resonate with one a little bit more than the other. So we're just going to check in with source, divine, spirit, angels, whatever you call it. And I always ask for guidance, advice, communication, and insight into what this week is going to bring for you and how to best work through it and any messages that come through. So let's jump right into it. So this is for guidance for the energy of Sagittarius for this week, November 25th. And happy birthday to my Sagittariuses. Let's see what the universe has in store for you. Ooh. November 25th. Upcoming week hold energetically for the sign of Sagittarius. You know, this deck is a little stuck when asking for you. So this is my emotional deck. So I don't know. I hope you guys are doing okay. So there might be a lot of stuff going on inside. So let me get my more mental deck. Sagittarius, here we go. These are both the exact same card, but in two different decks here. Some clarity here, universe, spirit, on these major arcana cards. Only to be given more major arcana. What does this upcoming week hold for Sagittarius? What guidance do you have for Sagittarius this week? All right, so these cards are a little bit shifty. So this tells me a couple different things. Now, while this is a general reading for Sagittarius, this is going to be coming at Sagittarius from multiple areas, not just one. Okay, so first of all, Sagittarius, you're going to be extremely active this week, and it's probably because you want to take action. You are, this is a wand. This is a fire sign. So this is you, Sagittarius. This week, you are coming in with a lot more enthusiasm. We just came out of Mercury retrograde, so you might have been a little bit more blah. That energy kind of gets us a little bit stuck and more in a review process than in a forward movement. So this week you're going to hit the ground running. You're going to try to go with all this enthusiasm, all this energy, all this effort to kind of move through what you're going through. Now, you do have the Three of Michael with the Queen of Water on top of it. So Three of Michael's Three of Swords. There might be some grief, some healing that has to do with the relationship. Queen of Water, this can be your romantic relationships. Of course, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be with family, mother, siblings in some form. But with the Queen of Water, it tends to be my relationships. So there might be some trouble in paradise. I don't want to sound so cliche, but there might have been something that you guys have been working on. Now, if you are a single Sagittarius, this is kind of just working through the emotional body. It could have been something you've already gone through. It looks like you really guys are trying to move up in your emotional sphere, and sometimes that requires you to go through old wounds, old patterning. With this retrograde, we had to bring up all this subconscious patterns, all this old crap that's blocking us, that's keeping us from moving forward and being brought into our awareness. Sometimes we're not even conscious of that. You guys probably had some clarity or just visions or just understanding during this retrograde, and you're trying to hit the ground running. Now, understand there still has to be time for healing, for emotional growth. Now, because you have the Divine Guidance card and the Unity card, which are the same card, in traditional tarot, these are the Hierophant. For those Sagittarius that are in a marriage, you might be being guided to perhaps seek some marriage counseling, some marriage therapy in some way, or your own individual therapy. This is with the Sun card on top of both of these. This is really, really going to help you emotionally. If you're a single Sagittarius, I am all for therapy. I am not one of those old school thinkers like, I'm not crazy. That's ridiculous. Therapists, I shouldn't say that's ridiculous. We all have our perspectives. But they're just people who ask us questions that target our subconscious so we come up with our own awareness. Honestly, and sometimes that's awesome. It can be a spiritual counselor. It can be a wise elder. Just any objective third party. And the key word here is objective. Objective, people who carry a lot of wisdom. This can be an elder, a grandparent, I'm not sure how objective a grandparent can be, but people who have wisdom and understanding that's going to provide you alternative approaches and ways of thinking. Now, because this is also the Hierophant, this is the card of marriage. So I'm not trying to just single out my married Sagittariuses out there, but this really is about moving forward, healing there is some big grief here, okay? And maybe I'm not, it's your choice. You stay or not stay, but regardless, getting some form of guidance and support from traditional organizations. That can be your spiritual, religious organization. Again, it could be objective, such as a therapist, a life coach, a counselor, somebody. And this is really the key here. This is the key for you, Sagittarius, this alternative approach. Stop spinning cycles. You might be trying to fix, but it's really, what does Einstein say? You can't solve a problem and the same energy it was created in. It's just physics, right? So you might need an alternative approach, and an outside perspective might help. Even if you're a single Sagittarius, outside perspectives help us to reframe, to see it in a different light, to shift our thinking and be like, oh my gosh, to work through and move over any kind of blocks that are keeping us from emotional well-being and growth. And again, I always tell people your career or your creative life it's a mirror of your emotional. So if this area is stuck, this area is going to be stuck, vice versa. So as we clear up, we're able to grow, create, build, evolve emotionally, creatively, and move forward with life. Now you have the Page of Water. This is for my single Sagittariuses. By working through these emotional blocks, you might think like that happened 8 years ago. It doesn't matter. We have shit from our childhood, and that could have been decades ago. You have to understand, in order for emotional energy to leave the body, it must be expressed. It's not like mental energy. Mental energy is like, I got a project, I'm stressed out, project is done, stress is gone. It was never emotional. But emotional energy must be expressed. Expressed is crying, writing, screaming, punching something, talking it out, but it must have energy transference. It must leave the body in some way. That's why after we cry, we feel so light. It moved through us, not suppressed. As a result, for those single Sagittariuses, someone's going to be coming in for you guys. And it might start out as a friendship, just FYI, and that might be good. Slow and steady. As we're moving through this, slow and steady. And for those who are in a relationship, of course, I'm not going to do what you're going to do. But someone else, and this can even come this can come as soulmates aren't just romantic. They can be friends. So, I feel like my little sister is my soulmate. We're like so close. I feel like even though we're at a big age difference, but she's still so close to me. But this is someone who understands you intrinsically, almost on an intuitive level. You guys are like two peas in the pod. Those people you meet and it's like you've known them forever? This person is integral to your healing and to your forward movement. Now, the last card over here is the King of Air. Now, what's really important for you guys this week, you're going to move forward, you're healing, you're growing, somebody's entering your life. There's going to be positive outcomes for all this incredible work this week, Sagittarius. The King of Air here, and this is the King of Swords. This week, even though we're working through emotional stuff, what's really being asked of you is objectivity. And I think this is why we need this third party here. Because the King of Swords, he's somebody who's diplomatic, great communicator, confident, speaks exactly what he wants. He's very, very clear, and he's balanced. He's balanced mentally and emotionally. I will say Swords, air signs, they tend to be a little bit more mental. And I'm going to pull a clarity card here for the King of Air. The Peace card. This is the Death card. Nothing to be scared of, but this is how you're going to get through it. This movement, this release is this death. There's endings here. Now, this can be an ending of a relationship or at the ending of a cycle, the ending of something. Some way, something's got to go. Maybe it was the way that things have been going on and you're like, enough. If we're going to continue moving forward, this is done. This is not sustainable. We need to figure out another way. We need to grow. We need to talk to perhaps, work with a third party over here, work through things. Or if you're single, this is done. This is about letting go of all this ish that didn't serve you, working through it, cycling it out, and this is what's going to help you. It's about getting more into your logical mind versus your emotional body. Being in your emotional body is good. Remember, it has to be expressed. But it's good when you can observe your emotional body, not identify it with it. Don't say, I'm so sad. Say, I am experiencing the energy of sadness. Because that's the truth. If you were sadness, you'd always be sad. But it's not, right? It fluctuates. You're happy, you're this, you're that. Because that tells you right there that that's not who you are. It's just what you're experiencing. And by being a little bit objective, by releasing, and I'm telling you guys, this is why you need this third party. It's going to help you step back from the situation so you can experience the emotions, but observe them and kind of watch how they're playing out. Like, you know what? I never recognized that. I did this, but this really comes from this old feeling of guilt I have from this relationship or this childhood. Or, you know what? I thought that this was a problem, but I recognize it has nothing to do with this person. It had to do with my fear of abandonment. Like, by pulling away, you're able to see a bigger picture, and this is what's going to help. You guys are doing incredible release work this week. We still are in the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. Incredible forward movement. You're going to hit the ground running. Like, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm getting my ass to the gym. I'm sitting on that meditation pillow. I'm going to journal every night. I'm going to get clear. I'm going to, sign up for that counselor or that therapist. I'm going to go talk to that religious or spiritual elder, whatever. But you guys are doing action steps this week. We're moving this up, out. Your emotional life is going to be rising. Congratulations to this new person. And we're ending the cycle, and we're doing it by being a lot more objective and recognizing patterns and learning lessons so we can move up, out, and forward. I hope this serves you. If you guys would like an extended reading or just a reading in general or a service, my link will be down below. I hope this served you guys. Have a beautiful week.